Now, the next reason was the lack of capital goods industry. Capital goods industry refer to those industries which can produce machine tools which are in turn used for producing articles for current consumption. Obviously, capital we have already said that is the machines. So, India lacked in the capital goods industries. There was no industry as such which would make machines, tools which are used in further production. So during the British rule, there was hardly any capital good industry to promote further industrialization in India, which will help in further production in India. So British rulers did not pay any attention for the promotion and wanted Indians to be dependent on them for the supply of capital goods. Because as I said earlier, that industrialization first came in Britain, Industrial Revolution. I think you remember, you have studied in history. So, in your class 10 and 9. So, that is why they wanted Indians to be dependent on them for the capital goods. Low contribution to GDP. The growth rate of the new industrial sector and its contribution to the GDP remained very small. Means the contribution of handicrafts industry, jute industry suffered very badly, as we discussed earlier, that the raw materials went to Bangladesh, means the jute growing areas went to Bangladesh. Okay, and the irrigated and the fertile land also went to Pakistan. So the jute industry suffered a lot and the handicrafts industry was suffering. Agriculture the farmers did not get any incentive to improve it. Okay, so contribution of these three industries to the GDP was very small. Limited role of public sector. The limited area of operation of the public sector was also a significant reason for the drawback of the industrial sector. Public sector remained confined only to railways, power generation, communication, ports and some other departmental undertakings. So the public sector means the government sector. Okay, so the government had a hold in a very limited sector. Okay, like nowadays it has hold in some industries also, but during the British rule it had hold on a very limited sector, like railways, which is still now under the government. Power generation. There are still some private power generating hubs, but still earlier during those times the government only had control over it. Power generation, communication, ports, okay, and other some departmental undertakings. So all these limited sector was under the government. Okay, so the public sector or the government sector had very limited role to play in the industrialization of India, or you can say in the industrial improvement of India. It had the public sector had a very small role, and public sector or the government invested only in those areas where I have already discussed earlier, where the returns take a long time to come and huge investment is required. So finally it can be concluded that India remained backward in the industrial sector during the British rule. So the very first reason is deindustrialization, then adverse effect of decline of handicrafts industry, lack of capital goods, low contribution to GDP, limited role of public sector. Okay. Now we will move to the next sector, that is the foreign trade. Before moving to the foreign trade, we will be just going through the modern industries which were operating during independence. Now, due to the initiative of the private sector, modern industries started to come up during the second half of the 19th century. The industries established in this period were mainly confined to cotton and jute, and their progress remained very slow. Cotton mills were dominated by Indians and were located in the western parts of the country, namely Maharashtra and Gujarat. Jute mills, dominated by the foreigners, were mainly concentrated in Bengal. The major breakthrough was the setting up of TISCO, Tata Iron and Steel Company, in the year 1907 in Jamshedpur. A few other industries in the fields of sugar, cement, paper, etc. also came up after the Second World War. So you can say after the Second World War, during the late 19th century, World War I was from 1914 to 1918. And Second World War was from the period of September 1939 to 1945. Now, after the Second World War, because after the Second World War, the countries which were involved in the Second World War, they suffered a lot and they needed help from India. Okay, so many industries, they needed supply from India. So many industries came up during the Second World War, like the sugar, cement, paper, etc. Okay, in the second half of the 19th century, cotton mills came up. So India was improving a bit. It was mainly located in Maharashtra and Gujarat. Jute mills were dominated by foreigners. It was located in Bengal. And Tata came up. Tata came up in 1907. So India was a bit improving in the second half of the 19th century. Okay, and hope it's clear that why after the Second World War a few other industries came up other than cotton, jute and Tata. Okay, cotton, jute was already there. It was being dominated by the foreigners. Jute was dominated then also, and cotton came up. It was a very slow progress, but it came up. Okay, so it was a very slow progress, but it still came up, and it was dominated by Indians, and it was settled up in Maharashtra and Gujarat. Jute mills were still under the foreigners, and Tata came up. So India was a bit improving. And Second World War made other industries also to come up, because other countries had a very bad condition and they needed supplies, and as well as help from India. Okay, now we will move on to the foreign trade in the next video. Thank you.